Do complex legal issues hold you back? Let's get energized and bring clarity to your top legal questions. This is Law Talk with the Flock by Goosmann Law Firm.
Hello, I'm your host, Jeana Goosmann, a CEO, lawyer, author, and woman business owner, here to help navigate you through the law, your business, and life as a leader. For today's episode, I have with me Iowa attorney Channing Burd. Channing is an agribusiness attorney here at the Goosmann Law Firm, and today we're going to talk about the role legal professionals play in agriculture and in the ag industry. Welcome, Channing.
Hey, Jeana, thanks for having me.
Channing, if we could just start out by having you introduce yourself to our listeners.
Absolutely. My name is Channing Burd. I grew up on a cattle operation in southern Missouri. Got my undergraduate degree from the Missouri State University in ag business. Then I went to law school at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville and went back again to get my master's in law in food and agricultural law. And now I'm here.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to have you on the team, Channing, and you've been here for just about a year now and practicing law and all kinds of different things that you get involved in as an agriculture and food attorney at the Goosmann Law Firm. Maybe you could give our listeners some sort of idea of how do these two areas of agriculture, food, and law intersect?
But more, I guess, narrow scope would be from business and estate planning, because a lot of these farms are family operations. And so having a transition plan for allowing that to go to the next generation is something we deal with a lot, because you need to protect it. It's usually been in the family for decades, if not over a century. And so protecting that is a huge piece of what we do. And then the agricultural side of things, there's a lot of ever-changing regulations, whether it's pork producers that the Supreme Court just ruled on, or every other number of animal welfare that seems to be coming across. So staying on top of that, and then keeping our clients informed and the producers informed, and then also staying on top of a farm bill that is going to change everything in the agricultural legal world, and making sure we're on top of that in a place where we can best support our clients.
I know we also advise some cooperatives. Co-ops are big business these days. It's a lot more than just a small town getting together and selling their grain together. Perhaps you could talk a little bit from a high-level perspective on what's it mean to represent a co-op.
It's big responsibility, but super rewarding. They're a very niche area that they get to do things that a lot of businesses or companies don't get to do because of what's called Capper-Volstead. And so staying on top of that and allowing them to market their product and their commodities in a way that only they can, and making sure that they're always on top of the changes or the compliance with Capper-Volstead is super, super challenging at times, but also very rewarding.
We also, in the food sector, there are a lot of big food companies and ag companies. I know some of our clients are even Fortune 500 businesses, and people tend to think of ag law as representing the farmer in the field, but it can be really a big business for companies that are publicly traded too, can't it?
Yes, I mean, it touches everybody. Every company that you see on the grocery store shelves is concerned about the world of ag law and food law, because from labeling to the welfare of the animals to how the crops are grown and everything like that. So it's not an area of law that is focused on just a certain group of maybe people or companies. It's from the farmer to the company that sells it to the grocery store that it's sold at. So it's a huge area that's all woven into one.
And there's some other practice areas that also tend to come into play pretty heavily from, real estate, construction law, employment law. There's a lot of different subjects contained within this industry too, aren't there?
Yeah, and I think it touches everything that you can get into, and it's making sure you have people that can help at each intersection of law, which I think we do a really good job of here. and having people that know each individual area of law, that you can put people in places where you know they're going to succeed and use their strengths, is something that I think we do a really good job of and makes it even more rewarding.
Did you ever think you would do so much real estate work?
No, but I seem to do a lot of it and I enjoy it. I think we probably look at things a little differently. I prefer the transactional side of things where it's a little less adversarial maybe. And I think that look on your face says you probably prefer some litigation. So the real estate side of things is super fun to me because it is so transactional, as in we get to work with people, not the sides usually don't have much that they're arguing over, and there's not a courtroom involved. And so it's more of a joint effort to come to a conclusion and something that works for everybody.
And then, after they get the food out of the field, a lot of times there's production or manufacturing and then trucking involved. So we tend to represent a lot of these ag businesses, food companies in those areas as well.
Absolutely. Like we said, I don't think there's a certain area of law that it doesn't involve. So it's almost everything you could think of, I think, is concerned with ag or food in some way.
Very good. Well, we are very excited to have this industry focus be a strong focus at the Goosmann Law Firm, and you with your law masters in ag business and food. You've brought a great perspective to the team. I myself am a farmer's daughter as well, so we've got a lot of that within the Goosmann Law Firm, and we're happy to support this industry. And like you said, just about every different type of business has its roots in agriculture here in the Midwest, even banking and finance, because these are big businesses. A lot of times when we do bank deals or financial transactions, those two touch on the ag industry.
I think every farmer will tell you that one of the best friends you can have is for a best friend, because you have to have such a good relationship with a banker at some point because of how involved they are. So yes, absolutely. That's a huge piece as well.
It is. And then we all know that business and farmers, they want to preserve their wealth and not pay it all back to the government, so to speak. So trying to help them in different areas to mitigate taxes, whether it be in their estate planning or annual business planning and corporate structures. We tend to get involved in that as well.
Absolutely.
Lots of new pickups at the end of the year.
Or tractors or anything you can think of.
That's right. That's right. Well, it was great having you on the podcast today. And Channing, please continue to help people in the ag and food business. We've got a lot of hungry people in the Midwest, in America, and in the world to feed. So keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us for Law Talk with the Flock by Goosmann Law Firm. We hope you feel energized and ready to soar past your goals. Become a Flock fan and subscribe to our podcast for weekly episodes. Learn more at goosmannlaw.com.